Welcome to Politics and Psychology. Do you hate family holidays? Well, as the holiday season begins, then you may be dreading going to a family dinner or a holiday get-together. And if so, then this episode will be very beneficial on how to maintain or to create positive family relationships despite political division, despite past family drama, or just being the same you, but you can't get out of those childhood roles that you fall back into when you are with your family. So listen in, and this is a flashback to November 24th, 2009, when I had my previous radio show, Success in Life, and I give you, with my co-host Ryan Green, give you insights on how to navigate drama. You also hear other callers and their experiences with that family situation and their dread for family holidays. And after that, I will come back and give you positive, helpful tips on how to experience higher levels of happiness, higher levels of gratitude, despite any discomfort you may have with your family or with our society. So stay tuned, and I will talk to you soon. How are you doing today, Ryan?
I'm doing great.
I don't know what's going on with the music, but that's not working.
Wonderful. Welcome to another week of Success in Life. How are you doing?
I'm okay, feeling better. So I'm glad that, I still have the lingering cough, but, at least that's all I have right now. So I'm happy. How are you feeling?
I'm doing great. Getting ready for this holiday season, which takes us to this week's show.
Yes, which we are going to help you with. And today, if you hate your family, the holidays are coming up, you don't want to be around them, all the extra drama that comes along with it, then definitely call us. The phone number is 410-481-1010. We would love to talk with you. If you know someone else who has family drama during the holidays, we wanted to not only talk about what happens, why it happens, but also how to have solutions for when you are presented with the holiday drama. You know any holiday drama, Ryan?
I just stay away from my family, so we don't have.
Well, yeah, that is one way to alleviate it. One of the ways that most of the holiday stress happens, especially with the family holiday stress, is that if you are 65 years old, but you're the youngest one in the family, people still see you as if you are 6 years old. So instead of them seeing and treating you as an adult, they come in, they start maybe treating you in a way less than what you would prefer, and then you kind of have a little bit of backlash from that. Then there's always the unresolved family issues. So remember the family reunion that happened this summer when there was an argument. People may still not be talking. So then, of course, there may be an argument during Thanksgiving or holiday, or someone's not talking to so-and-so, and Bobo is not talking to Booby. So it's always something that definitely happens. So we're going to definitely help focus on that today.
All right. Sounds exciting, especially now the holidays are always, such a stressful time, some good stress and some negative stress. Mm-hmm. Just dealing with, some people who love their families. You have great families, and there's other people who don't want to deal with the families. And like you said, there's a lot of times families don't let things go. So sometimes you have lingering issues. So you're going to help us out today working through that.
Yeah, I definitely want to also focus on how this year in particular may be a stressful time for families. So imagine if a person has lost her or his job, the finances are not where someone would like to be. That, in addition to maybe the parents not liking you in the first place. So imagine how all of that will come about at the Thanksgiving dinner table or the Christmas holiday table. So then not only is say, for example, you are a husband and your wife's family didn't really care for you. And so then now you have the whole economy. So because of the economy, you unbeknownst to you, had a downfall in your finances. Things are not going as well. And then you may have to go home. You may have to eat humble pie, or you may have to be at the dinner table and people are looking at you like, oh, well, we knew he wasn't going to work out. We knew that she wasn't going to be any good for you. And so then you have a whole bunch of extra feelings and insults and insecurity and people stressing you and making you feel even worse than what you already are. So in addition to the regular family dynamics of not getting along with people or maybe having some unresolved issues, you now have the finances where people actually kind of see you as negative.
Wonderful. Absolutely. It's humble pie is a lot less tasty than sweet potato pie.
Yes, or anything chocolate, as you know.
And definitely. So we've got a couple of calls that are already on the line. We're going to go to call line one. and bring on Eric.
Hi, Eric. How are you doing?
Okay, how you doing this morning?
I'm fine. So what's going on?
I'm just saddened by how the holidays have changed over the years.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I can remember as a kid, myself and all my cousins and my aunts and uncles getting together, and the kids sharing the toys and the food, and it just doesn't exist, at least for my family anymore. You know.
Right. When was the last time you all were able?
For my kids, I'm a single father of 3.
Okay.
A grandfather of one daughter. And, you know, just as a man, you know, to be honest, I just feel lesser than because I won't be able to do for my children what I want to be able to do for them.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because of the economy or because of losing my job.
Right.
And it's just a sad period of time for me. You know, every time my daughter asks me for something, I try to say, well, baby, you know Daddy not working right now. You know, it's a difficult time right now. You know, it's a depressing time right now.
It is.
And I'm not trying to let my kids see that in me. I'm trying to keep their frame of thought up and happy. And the reality also is that I know Christmas is a big lie in the first place. I don't know who may be listening. I hope I'm not putting out no secrets, but
that's okay.
It's a big lie in the first place that we done got caught up into.
Okay.
And I guess I done pretty much put out how I'm feeling about it right now.
Okay. Well, Eric, I do want to try to help you with this. So when was the last time you and your family, your daughter, were all able to get together with the grandkids?
When was the last time that we all got together as a family?
Mm-hmm.
Man, it's probably been about 4 years ago.
4 years, okay. And do you know what some of the 2 top reasons are for that?
Well, the top reasons is that the closeness of my family.
Okay.
My father is very sick. Myself, my youngest daughter, 8-year-old, and I live with my dad. You know, my father very sick, been diagnosed with cancer 3 times, had 2 strokes, made it through that. So I care for him and my youngest daughter.
Okay.
But as far as all of us been together, it's been 4 or 5 years ago. It used to be we would all go out to my sister's house. She got a nice home out in Marysville, but now my sister and my father, their relationship has totally depleted.
Okay, so...
And, you know, my father been a good provider. You know, we might have had some problems, which you have with all families, but my father had been a good provider.
Right. Well, Eric, let me just let me interject for a moment.
Have a relationship with my sister.
Right. So, Eric, what I would suggest is that as a man, I do understand what you all go through as far as wanting to be the provider, especially when it comes to the holiday season. However, what the children and what the other family members really, really want is the quality time. So even if you cannot buy them all the things that you want them to have or that they are saying that they want, you can still spend quality time with them. And then maybe don't focus on these things, but focus on the quality of those relationships. Maybe what you can do to feel better is maybe volunteer like at a homeless shelter during the daytime. Those people have a whole lot less than what you do. You know, a lot of people focus on these things, but in any human experience, you know, my specialty is happiness. The happiness studies always show it's not about the things that you have in your hands, but it's what you have in your heart. And if you actually spend time maybe at a homeless shelter, you may not even have your electricity on this week. You may not even have anything other than ramen noodles in your refrigerator. But if you have that, you have more than what half the people have in this economy today. So why not volunteer your time? And I guarantee you, by giving of your heart, you will come back. Not only will you appreciate what you have, but you also recognize that life will get better, because just like they're going through hard times in the homeless shelter or the food shelter, you're going through hard times. But by giving, you can see that you have much more of an impact than that toy or gift will last.
Absolutely. We're going to go to our next caller, JJ McQueen, good friend of mine, CEO, local videographer of Gold Line Media. Wanted to bring him on this week because JJ, you know, I've known him for a while, and he's one of those families from North Kakalaki.
Oh,
you know,
yeah.
and I remember us watching the Tyler Perry movie. First of all, JJ, welcome to the show.
Hi, JJ.
How you guys doing this morning?
Wonderful.
Thank you for
And
calling.
I remember, JJ, you know, we watched Medea's family reunion.
Okay.
And, you know, you kept talking about how that reminded you so much of your family and how you came up. And I look at you and, you know, I know you're going down to North Carolina this holiday season. And I kind of want to get your take on it, on, you know, your family. And you guys aren't the Huxtables by any stretch of the imagination, but you guys have a strong familial bond. So why don't you talk to us about that and, you know, what helps your family to stay so strong and connected to each other during the holidays as well?
Okay.
I guess I'm kind of the flip side of the gentleman that just spoke before me. We kind of grew up with little or nothing, so all we had was each other. So everything that, you know, we've grown and worked and acquired now is kind of, I guess, it's just the icing on the cake for us.
Right.
So we really don't, you know, the value in Christmas and the holidays and just, you know, just day to day is not really attached to a thing. It's attached to a person.
And that is true. I think that if nothing else, the economy has definitely taught us to focus on the relationships versus the materialism. And if you didn't have anything or never had anything, the tiny bit that you may get, as you said, is just like the icing on the cake or the cherry on top. The goal is to remember that, which it sounds like you have done, JJ. So for those of you who may not be in the situation where JJ is, maybe a little bit different, they may focus on what is the quality of the relationship. When 9/11 happened, I never had anyone come into my office saying, I wish I would have worked more. I wish I would have had that Benz. I wish I would have had that, you know, $8.5 million house. They're like, oh, I wish I would have spent more time with my kids. It could have been me. I wish I spent more time with my wife or my husband. That could have been me. And we had an argument that day. And I actually was in the Twin Towers, which did happen. And yet I was able to get out. And I know a few people who I've talked with, they have actually changed their life and focusing more on the relationships with their loved ones instead. So I would definitely encourage anyone. Yes, you probably have irritation, hate, and great disgust for your family, but maybe focus on what JJ is saying. Focus on the relationship, focus on the quality, and not on being selfish and self-centered or holding on to grudges.
I've noticed a lot of people don't have outlets, especially, you know, men, since you, like the gentleman also said, you know, we carry the brunt of the responsibility in terms of, hey, I'm the provider, I'm the man of the house, and I really, you know, I take sole responsibility in making sure my responsibilities are taken care of. But at the same time, we don't take the time out to find safe outlets, you know, for that frustration.
That's very true. And on that note, I did want to say that that's where most men trip up. You all are definitely built to be the providers and the protectors, but what happens is the very same thing that you are trying to hold on to and to provide for, you're missing it. What people really want is relationships. No woman has ever come to me for couples counseling saying he loves me too much. He spends too much time with me. Now, if you're a stalker, that may be one thing. But if you're spending quality time, taking care of the bills, but also putting more of an emphasis on showing love to your children and families, I guarantee you, not only will you as the man get more rewards in that relationship, but you also will have an easier time at work. There'll be less stress, you'll be more productive, and you'll feel like you have more meaning and you have the best of both worlds, a good family life to go home to, and when you're going to work, you feel happy providing for that family. It's not just a job, but it's a part of your enjoyment.
It's a delicate balance. I mean, myself, as much as I don't like it and don't enjoy it, I still jog 3 miles a day.
Oh, good for you.
Just for the actual, and by the time I get, you know, through the first mile, it's like, ooh, okay, I'm starting to actually wind down from the stress of the day.
Right.
And, you know, when it's over, of course you feel better, but you just have to get to a point where, you know, you find something, you know, even like the gentleman was saying, it's tough times right now, but exercise is free.
Right, it is. And that is a good way to alleviate family stress. If you know that you're going into the dinner and you may have to, you know, go to blows, maybe take a jog or walk around the block or maybe ride the bicycle or just go up and down the flight of steps or something. That could definitely help alleviate some of the physical stress that comes along with it.
If you don't, you know, it lead to health problems.
Yes, it will.
You may lose it. Like some people have done. They've gone postal.
Yes.
For lack of better terms. I mean,
that's okay.
You really don't want to go down that road.
That's right. Jay, thanks for calling. Enjoy your holiday, man. I'm still waiting for that Biscuitville order.
Appreciate it.
Oh, I had one of those.
I'm still waiting for mine. I'm waiting for Biscuitville.
Oh, yeah, JJ, we need to be new BFFs. I need one, too.
Take it easy, Jay.
Bye-bye.
You guys take care.
All right. We have Byron on the line.
I just turned the station on and I was listening to the guy. And your greatest wealth is in your character, not in what you can carry.
Right.
I have a problem with my aunt and my uncle. They live out of state, and I talk to both of them, and I love them a lot. And I didn't know they wasn't talking to each other. Mm-hmm. So I told my uncle, sometimes you have to forgive people and let things go, because when you carry that around with you, it's not good for your health or your spirit.
Very true.
And if a person is not receptive to your forgiveness, then at least you can say you tried.
Right.
And I asked him this, by him being a man in Christ, I said, God forbid if you died and your sister died, when you get to heaven and you see her, are you still going to hold that petty grudge while you're up in heaven? And he was like, he couldn't say nothing, because if you're supposed to be free in heaven and godly, then you can start while you're on earth.
Right. That is very true.
As godly as possible. You know, I know we're all human, but God wants us to be better people.
That is true.
And a lot of us carry a whole lot of grudges and stuff around, and it just eats us up. Now, I'm just recovering from shingles, and I got some marks on my face still healing. And I like to dress and show off and all that. I'll be straight up. And I didn't want to go to my people's house because I was ashamed. You know, I didn't want them to see me like this. And my mother was like, we love you. No matter how you are, come out to the house.
Right.
And I thought about it, and I said, you know what? This could be the last holiday I could see them or they could see me.
Exactly.
I'm not going to pass this up. Whether I got a lot or little or whatever my situation is, we are not promised tomorrow.
That's right.
No, you're not.
You know? And I just want to read this little passage.
Okay.
The best gift was found in a manger.
Oh,
all right.
Very
all
true.
Right.
Very
Thank
true. That was
Have a good holiday.
Thank you,
all
Byron.
right, thank you, Byron. And I did want to say, you know, and it's very symbolic. It's not just your appearances physically, but how, if you're worried about how you may appear as far as your financial status, you may not be where you want to be, and you're worried about how people may see you. If you're focusing on these things, this fantasy, these images, and not the relationships, a lot of the stress comes in from what you imagine people to be thinking or what you fear they're going to say.
Right. Yeah, I don't remember the exact statistic, but it was some. I have to go back to my old notes, but there was something about the things we worry about.
80%.
80% of the things we worry about never going to happen.
Never happens.
Yeah, and so it's like we waste so much time and so much quality time and memories we could be making worrying about stuff that never is going to happen anyway.
Right.
So it's definitely a lot of our own perception, our own pride.
Yes.
That puts up a wall that's really not even there to begin with.
Yes, and I'm so happy that so many men are calling in. It really says a lot for people, you know, for men to want to reach out.
Definitely. Let's go back to the lines. We have Clay.
I just want to say thank you for the opportunity and privilege. You really touched my heart here today, especially when you talk about the relationships between men and women and how women are concerned with that. At my church, we have about 20 young men that we mentor. They are of middle school age.
Okay.
And what we're actually in the process of doing is redefining what it means to be a man. We're getting back to the basic ideas and beliefs about manhood. A lot of young men today, a lot of men today, allow their manhood to be defined by the media, wealth and materialism, and unfortunately, even the pursuit of wealth and materialism, maybe in some churches, because there seems to be such an emphasis on having stuff. What we do is we teach young men that manhood is a choice. We tell them, we say, boys are born male, and it's okay to be a male. It's okay to be a little boy. But at some point in time, you have to choose to become a man. A mother can help a boy to become a good boy.
Right.
But a father must teach his son to become a good man.
Very true.
A boy is going to know when he's a man, when a man that he recognizes and respects as a man, when that man recognizes and respects him as a man. One of the things we home in on is the value of our women. We want our young men to see light in women, not their anatomy.
Right.
We want our young men to see how important it is to preserve the family, to be the head of the family. And that don't mean dominating your woman. That means being smart enough to listen to her, give you her intelligence and wisdom. We need to try to encourage our young men about the importance of the balance of the family, the nucleus of a man and woman, and raising children out of that. We think that the problem with the family is really the problem with the whole country and ultimately the whole world, because if you look throughout history, the family has been the base of the success of every nation and every community.
Yes, very true.
So we need to get back to that. We need to teach our young men about the value and importance of family, and it's so refreshing to hear you talk about relationships and the real things that women look forward to. And finally, I'll say this. We just have too many men who are so insecure, and it's our job to help them through that. Mm-hmm. It's our job to help them through that, and to give our young men a different perspective on family. But I just wanted to call and thank you too for your wisdom today.
Oh,
and,
you're welcome.
The blessings that you guys are bestowing upon our people.
Oh, thank you. That's definitely our goal. I did want to kind of piggyback on what he was saying. As far as the role, and it is true, the way that men are as the head or the lack of the head or leadership in the family is based on how our society is. Sometimes men focus so much on giving us these things or providing for their family their things because they're focusing on what the world views as success. But success, when it comes down to it, when you die, when you're in the coffin, you are not, the bills are going to still have to be paid, but those memories will last as far as what quality time do people who are still left on earth to have. And if men, and in their program, if they're teaching boys to become men, if you all can have programs that focus, or even in your household, focus on teaching your young boys or your young men to know what it's like to be a real man, which is spending quality time, being able to be vulnerable while also being strong. So saying I love you, but still being able to put down your demands and saying what needs to be done for the family. And I guarantee you that you will have more success financially, materialistically, love-wise, if you recognize that my first priority is my family, not going to my job, not this paycheck. And if I put them first and what their welfare is, they will give me enough energy, enough motivation, enough love to go through that day that's full of BS and stress and have enough strength to endure so I can provide for them even more. So men, definitely, we love you. We know that you're great. Maybe kind of focus more on the relationship, especially this holiday season. If there's stress, it's because you're focusing on some goal that people in your family don't even really care about. They just want you. Just be the best man that you can start by being vulnerable enough to love and then work it from there.
Thank you for holding. Welcome to the show.
Hi, Sandra.
You're welcome. Good morning to you and your guest. Doctor, I was listening to what you were saying about loving your family and showing them love for Christmas because they might not be here.
Right.
You know what? My husband, he worked at the point for about 25 years, and he got a chance to retire, go out with retirement. And he was so sad. And I said, listen, you should be glad that you don't have the opportunity to do this.
Right.
And I said, why are you going to sit around and mope and whine? I said, let's do something.
Right.
So I'm a nurse. So you know what I did? To accommodate his time, I jumped down and took 3 to 4 days of working so I could be home more with him.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And then we travel, we do things together. We never home for the holiday. We're down in South Carolina, and I can relate to the man they called talking about North Carolina.
Right.
I mean, when I went to his home, I had the most beautiful time of my life.
Right.
And you don't know what you're missing when you don't have it. I'll show you what nice things. We have nice car, we have nice place, but we have, even now, we even have more nice things. We have quality time to spend.
And when you're looking at like adoption studies and child abuse cases, the children will always tell you that they were happier in the foster homes that had no money but a lot of love than in the homes that were wealthier, and they treated them like they didn't even exist.
Yeah.
And it sounds like what you're saying with your husband, and this is what most men do, as I was saying. They focus so much on the job and their title.
They don't know how to relax.
And when they retire, they have a higher rate of depression than any other person because they were so connected and with their identity to being what they do. But it sounds like, and I'm so happy to hear it, that your husband is not able to have more happiness in his life because you all do have that relationship.
You know where we're going this year for Christmas?
Where?
We're going to Seattle, Washington. He had never seen his youngest brother in about years. Never have a chance to go there this year.
Wow. Okay.
He's in the Navy out there.
Oh, okay. Congratulations.
So, thank you.
Well, I appreciate you stepping up to the stepping up to the plate, Sandra, to making that change in your husband's life and also in your life. So congratulations. So, we definitely been listening a lot, Ryan, to, if you hate your family, it may not be the family, it's the stress that you experience with them, especially around the holidays because you all are so together. Everyone is all together in everyone's faces. unresolved issues occur, what you may think your image is or how you are appearing, the fears of that come along. So then insecurities kind of get all muddled and twisted into it. But if nothing else, we had so many men call today. Men, you are the backbone not only of society, but definitely of our families. And if you could focus on the relationship and the quality time, you may not even have $1 in your bank account. But when it comes down to it, if you give love, you're going to either get some, 99-cent Dunkin' Donuts that he mentioned, that Eric mentioned. You could do something that would show more love than what a paycheck will be. Well, that was a November 2009 flashback or remix. So even though that was several years ago, over a decade ago, it still applies as far as how to be happy, how to recognize what is most valuable in your life. So if you are traveling today or if you are planning a holiday get together with your family, then I encourage you to think about, one, what is most important? If it's not politics, if it's not how much money you have in your account, but if it's more that you value your life, that you value the other person's lives who will be with you at this holiday gathering, focus on those things. Focus on the good things. Focus on the positive things about that person. And it may be, death defying to try to find even one positive thing about that person, but focus on that one positive thing about that person. And if they start to show you their other 99% of the character that you cannot stand or that is offensive or abusive, then remove yourself from the situation. Also, be an active participant in your emotional well-being at the holiday gatherings. So what I mean by this is active. I'm going to go into a situation, I'm going into this family holiday, this family get together, and I'm going to deliberately decide to be happy and to not tolerate unhappiness, negativity, or foolishness. And if you go into it saying, this is what I am going to do, I am being an active participant in my emotional well-being, and that means you are going to be more on the assertive and the proactive rather than reactive to the whims of other individuals who may not be as healthy as you and who may be looking for an argument or who may not have within themselves resolved their own past traumas or past dramas. I also encourage you to have a vacation mindset. When individuals go on vacation, although their life is still the same, their bank account is still the same, their medical complications may still be the same, when you go on a vacation, you deliberately enter into a rest mode and a restful mindset. You focus on enjoying things, you focus on relaxing, and you focus on the refusal to focus on the things that you were trying to get away from. So at these holiday gatherings or the holiday dinners, if what you're trying to get away from is division, is chaos, if it's trying to get away from political conversations at the dinner table, then you can assume a vacation mindset by not giving into those conversations and not by engaging in conversations with individuals who may be toxic or who may be unhealthy. So go on a vacation mindset. Enjoy the time to eat delicious food, extra dessert, watching TV, just relaxing and not having to worry about life at this moment. Just enjoy what you have and the individuals in your life for whom you are grateful. So think about the individuals who add to your life, who add happiness, who add a joke, who add laughter to your life, who are just there for you. Focus on the individuals who are positive in your life. Focus on the things that are positive in your life and focus on positive thoughts in general. When you think about positives in your life, you are less likely to have a memory recall of negatives. So the more you focus on positives, the more you will see positive. So at the family dinner, whether it's about family or society, focus on a vacation mindset of deliberately enjoying positive experiences, but also focus on deliberately thinking of positive things. And that will cause you to subconsciously and automatically think of more positive things about that individual, about the family, and about your holiday gathering. And you could also, as a subconscious communication, send everyone this copy of this episode to kind of prime their minds to think about positive and to be positive for today. And when you do, remember, as always, to continue this conversation, Share this episode using science and love.